The Story of Hong Gildong is one of the major classic texts of Korean literature, although no one knows precisely who wrote it or even when it was first written down. The 2016 Penguin Classics edition, edited and translated by Minsoo Kang, comes with an introduction that addresses both those questions, plus an extensive set of endnotes. Kang argues forcefully against the traditional attribution of the work to the 17th century statesman Hyo Gyun. Rather, he thinks it was probably penned in the middle of the 19th century by an anonymous author of secondary or commoner status who sought to profit from the market for popular fiction. It's set in the world of the early Joseon monarchs, Korean kings who began to reign at the end of the 14th century and who were devotees of the ancient Chinese sage Confucius. Korea's previous dynasty had permitted polygamy. Confucianism forbade it. Under Confucianism, a man could only have one wife, although he could have several concubines. Crucially, however, any sons born to those concubines were deemed legally inferior. The Story of Hong Gildong can be read as an extended protest against that development. After an auspicious dream fills an influential Korean minister with sexual arousal, he tries to have intercourse with his chief concubine, but she rejects him, so he has sex with an obedient servant girl instead, and the son born as a result of that union, Hong Gildong, turns out to be supernaturally gifted in every area. Unfortunately, as things stand in that society, there's no outlet for his gifts. When he gets older, the jealous senior concubine tries to have him assassinated, but by now he's mastered the magical arts of Taoism and he foils his would-be killers. He then presents himself humbly to his father, who knew nothing about the murder plot, and announces his reluctant intention to go into permanent exile. Next, he becomes the leader of an army of bandits, then steals systematically from the rich and corrupt, proves his loyalty to the king, and eventually founds his own perfect kingdom on 2 islands a long way from his birth country. It's an extended proof that secondary sons aren't necessarily inadequate, although it arguably overstates its case a little bit. It's an adventure story, of course, but the only genuine narrative tension lies in the first part, where the wicked senior concubine tries to have Hong Gildong killed. Once he's overcome her multitude of skilled villains, we know he's more or less invincible, and none of his subsequent opponents fills the reader with any kind of trepidation. There's a sense in which he's just too perfect. The real interest of the book lies not in the escapades, but in the insight it gives us into a particular version of Korean society and into Korean thought. The hero's attitude to his father, to the king, and to his future are all culturally specific, and the book ends with traditional funeral scenes and the hero's abdication to follow a religious life. That's why Minsoo Kang's introduction and endnotes are so important. He introduces the latter by telling us that he's often transliterated rather than translated, so as to replicate the experience of reading the Story of Hong Gildong in the original language as much as possible. It's a laudable aim. And of course, it's still incredibly influential in Korea today. As the blurb on the back cover tells us, it's been adapted into countless movies, television shows, novels, and comics. At just 77 pages in the Penguin edition, it can be read in a single sitting. Enjoyable, informative, and quick. Never a bad combination.